CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Najahe Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. Right now, voters are heading to the polls in the second in the nation primary in New Hampshire. Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley is taking on her old boss, former President Donald Trump. And tonight, it's all eyes on New Hampshire. Let's get right to CBS News Miami's Skylar Henry. He joins us live from Manchester, New Hampshire. How's it looking so far?
Hey, Naja, good to be with you. 22 delegates up for grabs here in the Granite State as related to the GOP Republican presidential nomination process. That can prove important, especially when it comes to deciding who will be the representative for the Republican Party. The former president hoping to run away with this race tonight, hoping to gain even more ground against former Ambassador Nikki Haley. But she has been crisscrossing the state all week, trying to sway those independent and undecided voters.
Voters streamed to the polls, casting ballots in the first one-on-one contest in the Republican race.
I voted for Trump. I care most about Second Amendment and pretty much staying out of war.
With 22 delegates at stake, former President Donald Trump stopped at a Londonderry polling place. He's predicting a big win here in New Hampshire, a week after his Iowa victory.
There's never been a movement like this. Make America great again in the history of our country.
Polls favor the former president by a wide margin, but Nikki Haley is hoping to cash in with independents and anti-Trump voters. Her supporters say the former UN ambassador has what it takes to be president, especially when it comes to foreign policy.
She understands the intricacies of that and understands that we need to be strong on the world stage. And right now we're perceived as weak.
She just adds a very optimistic energy to the room. And that's who we want to lead our country. Someone who is very positive.
In fact, the results are already in from tiny Dixville Notch. All 6 registered voters cast their ballots for Haley.
I'm not in the prediction business, but I do believe that now that it's a two-person race, it might be a little closer than the Trump campaign would like.
Campaigning in Hampton, Haley welcomed the early sweep.
You know, right now we'll take whatever we can take. It was certainly a good start. It gave us some good energy and momentum, and I'm grateful to those 6 people.
She says no matter what happens in the Granite State, she'll continue to fight.
Polls close here in New Hampshire at 8 p.m. As for the Democratic side of this process, whoever wins tonight ultimately is a winner in name only. That's because President Joe Biden's name is not on this ballot. They have used a write-in campaign to try to encourage his supporters to put his name on the ballot, and that's because New Hampshire's primary process is non-compliant, if you will, to the new schedule that allows South Carolina's primary to ultimately be first for the Democrats. And so essentially whoever wins tonight, no matter if it is President Biden or someone else, is truly just a winner in name only. We're here in Manchester, New Hampshire. I'm Skylar Henry. Naja, back to you.
All right. Will be interesting to see how it all unfolds. Skylar, thank you for that live report.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
And taking a live look outside, sun is coming back out and it's warming up too. Let's get right to Next Weather meteorologist Cindy Pressler. Cindy, glad to see the return of warmer temps.
Oh, so much so. Yeah, temperature made it up to 79. That's our high so far today. Now it's starting to come back down. And yes, we had quite a bit of sunshine this afternoon. The clouds trying to move back in. Easterly winds, again, that is a big story right now, gusting up to 33 miles per hour earlier today. Clouds, yes, we have them, but that sunshine, especially here on the southeastern side of the state, that's where we're getting that nice warming trend, and we're going to keep going with that heading into the weekend too. At this point, we have a 15-mile-per-hour wind, but we did have gusts that were a lot higher earlier, 10-mile-per-hour winds in Homestead, and again, straight out of the east. So this continues to be the trend, and that's going to be an easterly flow again tomorrow. These winds will be breezy again. We'll put some gusts up to 25 miles per hour, but I think by the time we get into Thursday, those winds are going to start start backing off, and certainly that's some good news. It's been so windy for so long, but because we've got another breezy day tomorrow, small craft advisory now running until 7 p.m. on Wednesday, and that includes down here in the Keys and also along the Atlantic coast, and Key Biscayne is included in that. You could have some gusts up to 30 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet. Maybe the best solution there is just keep the boat in the dock for another day at least. And a high rip current risk through Thursday evening now. Today we had that sunshine. Not a lot of folks out on the beach yet, but I think as temperatures start going up, we're going to find a lot of people heading back to the beaches, so be careful with that. This is what's going on. Warm and breezy again on Wednesday, but notice the moisture out here in the Gulf of Mexico. That's going to be a problem for the folks up there in the northern Gulf states, places like Louisiana. We're going to pretty much stay out of it. There's another storm system heading our direction, not here until the weekend, but by the time it does get here, Sunday night into Monday morning, most of that moisture will be gone, and we're just going to see a temperature flip. Temperatures will head back down again. But for the time being, look at this. Look at this warming trend. Look at these highs in the lower 80s as we head into Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday. Ahead of this frontal system, we could even get into the mid-80s. Humidity is going to be a little bit high as well, so it's back in the humid category, but look at the drop on Monday, and that's behind that next front. So temperatures tomorrow should top out in the lower 80s, 82 again on Thursday, slight chance for a shower, best chance on Sunday, but even that is going to be quite low. Cooler as we head into next week.
Big changes on the way. Thank you, Cindy. Now at 4, a terrifying situation in Miami. An older adult woman fell through the floor of her home. It happened this morning along 9th Street and Southwest 12th Avenue. Crews found the 96-year-old woman stuck in the living room floor. The woman was evaluated but didn't need to go to the hospital. As a precaution, the home was evacuated, but now 6 adults are displaced. We're going to have the very latest on this story tonight at 5. 2 men rushed to the hospital. It was following a crane collapse in southwestern Palm Beach County. Broward Sheriff's Fire Rescue tells us that 2 men were either working on or near the crane when it collapsed, and this is in a wildlife management area. You can see that crane tipped over in a field. Here are some close-up shots of the crane. One of the victims was taken to the hospital. No word on what caused that crane to collapse. A vigil is planned for the teenager who was gunned down outside of a Best Buy Saturday night. The victim is identified as 17-year-old Terrence Farrington Jr. Police say he was walking out of the store with a group of people, and that's when a second group of people opened fire in the parking lot. Farrington and someone else in his group were shot, as were 2 bystanders. If you have any information, call the Broward Crime Stoppers. The number is 954-493-TIPS. CBS News Miami's Peter Dench is on top of this story, and he's going to have the very latest for you coming up tonight at 5. The nominations for the 96th Annual Academy Awards are out. Find out who made the list coming up.
You told us it's the story you care about the most, condo and homeowners association reform.
Don't feel like you have a good accountability of where the money's moving and how fixes are getting done.
Not at all.
Building after building, we saw gaping holes, collapsed ceilings, and flooded floors. You said enough's enough, and your voice was heard.
First of all, you have to start with teeth in the law.
I'm Joe Gorcho, and I'll show you how lawmakers are biting back in the HOA and condo crisis. Thursday night at 5.
Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. A South Florida community is coming together to try and save a local business. The city says it's terminating their lease in May of this year. Many locals who live in the area are upset and sounding off. Take a listen.
We're fighting for our existence. Fritz und Franz Bierhaus. The city doesn't want to extend our lease as of May 31st, 2024, and we'd like to get another 10 years plus 2 5-year options to renew. But we have no idea why they would not let us sit down and negotiate a new lease. We have never heard a good reason why they want us gone.
It has served the community of Coral Gables for nearly 24 years. CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten will have the very latest on this story tonight at 5. The nominees are out for the 96th Annual Academy Awards. CBS News Miami's Danya Backus has more on the big snubs and surprises from LA.
Congratulations to this year's nominees.
It's
Actors Jack Quaid and Zazie Beetz announced the nominations Tuesday, and Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer led the pack with 13, including Best Picture and Best Director.
Why are these men looking at me?
The other half of the Barbenheimer phenomenon, Barbie, racked up 8 nominations, including Best Picture and a surprise Best Supporting Actress nod for America Ferrera. But filmmaker Greta Gerwig and star Margot Robbie were left out of the Best Director and Best Actress categories. Also competing for Best Picture are American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. For Best Director, Nolan will face off against Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, along with the directors of Anatomy of a Fall, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. I need you here. Lily Gladstone made history with her Best Actress nomination for her role in Killers of the Flower Moon.
She becomes the first Native American woman to ever be nominated in this category.
She'll compete against Annette Bening for Nyad, Sandra Hoolier in Anatomy of a Fall, Carey Mulligan in Maestro, and Emma Stone in Poor Things.
You got a nice color scheme.
But Gladstone's co-star Leonardo DiCaprio didn't make the cut in the Best Actor category. Instead, the nominations went to Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Coleman Domingo for Rustin, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Oppenheimer's Cillian Murphy, and Jeffrey Wright in American Fiction. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Can't wait to check out some of those movies. The Academy Awards will be held on March 10th. And here's what's coming up all new on CBS News Miami at 5. A new report reveals an alarming amount of plastics found in our everyday foods, how they can impact hormones and reproduction in humans. That's ahead at 5. The power of CBS News Miami and the CBS News Miami stream are always at your fingertips. We're on Pluto TV and it's all free. Or you can find us on your favorite streaming device with the CBS News app, then click CBS News Miami. That's the CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Najahe Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami and have a wonderful day.